Hey guys, welcome to Love, Life, and Politics, where I talk about love, life, and mostly politics. As usual, I'm going to start always talking about where I get my news sources and kind of recommend what people should do to diversify their sources. I would say get a conservative, somebody who's a little bit libertarian, and somebody who is on the left or wisely on the left. It's not just Trump derangement syndrome. So my three people is Crowder. Louder with Crowder, definitely my number one. Gives you lots of current events, tend to be really right, tend to show you the links, the facts, and he's funny. And then you would have Tim Cast, who like 3 videos minimum every day. Very, very good guy. He's more left. And then my libertarian guy would be Sticks X and Hammer 666. Anyways, let's talk about the 3 things we're going to talk about today. First thing is going to be about a woman who essentially gets jailed because she opened up her business because she's trying to put food on her table as well as the people who works for her table. The USA women's soccer team losing their lawsuit, and Andrew Schultz crossing political lines. So without further ado, let's start talking. The number one thing I want to talk about is this quarantine and some of the effects that it's having on our day-to-day lives and people's livelihoods. So there's a lady out there, I don't know her name, but she runs a saloon. She takes care of women hair and all that. I'm sure she probably does dude stuff too. And because of the quarantine, she's had to shut down. She's apparently applied for loans, like the government loan programs that they're trying to do to help businesses stay afloat. And apparently she was not able to receive that. And she is aware that we're supposed to be opening up next week, but she probably understands her business more than everybody else and knows that she can't afford to not open up as soon as possible. So she opens up, and you can see in the pictures, and you can see that she's trying her best to make sure that there's some social distancing happening. They're wearing masks and all that, and the cops come in and essentially arrest her. Now, I can understand that there's kind of a suggestion is what you need to do, but the fact that people are being jailed because they're trying to put food on their children's table and trying to take care of their employees is pretty ridiculous. But it gets a little bit more crazy when she actually goes to court for it, and the judge essentially tells her, hey, if you apologize, then you won't go to jail. But if you don't, I'm going to send you to jail for 7 days. And this lady, I got to give her mad kudos. Like, this right here is the type of people that we need in this world. She was like, listen, very respectfully, very calmly, letting the judge know, I'm not going to apologize for putting the well-being of my family and the people that work for me above your overbearing government takeover of what we're supposed to be doing for our livelihoods. You're the one that's shutting down our businesses and not even supporting us, essentially. And I need to put food on the table for my kids, and I need my employees who rely on me to make sure that they're able to put food on their kids' tables as well. And the judge, he stuck to his guns, I guess, and proceeded to sentence her. So she's supposed to go to jail for 7 days. But I guess the governor, I think the sheriff came out, actually was like, hey, listen, I'll pay that fine for her and be on house arrest for her, because he understands that this is her livelihood. She is in charge of taking care of not only her own family, but other people's family. And the government overreach is just ridiculous, and it's getting in the way of Americans providing for themselves. And the governor, I heard today would be Thursday. The governor says, yeah, we're going to change the rules, because the rules allowed essentially for people to get some jail time for breaching quarantine measures. But the governor was like, you know what, this is ridiculous. He said, nah. So now this girl is not going to jail. But the fact that the judge and this court system was about to allow a woman, by the way, we're all supposed to be pro-woman nowadays, a woman who has her own business, doing her own thing, providing for her family, giving her a hard time because she's doing what God has given her the ability to do, is quite ridiculous. But I'm glad that it all worked out in the end, and I really do hope that the country sees this great overreach whenever the government is given power, and that they will reject it and hopefully go back to wanting smaller government and more individual rights and freedoms. Anyway, second story is, this one's probably my favorite, is the USA women's soccer team loses their lawsuit. So if you haven't heard or haven't been paying attention, they won the World Cup or whatnot, and they didn't get paid as much as the men. And so because it's all Me Too, women empowerment period, they think it's because of the gender pay gap that's been debunked like over and over and over again, that they are not paid that way. So they essentially opened up a lawsuit, and judge essentially threw out a good portion of it because they are the ones that negotiated their contracts. And from what I understand is the men's soccer team, which is actually a separate organization, by the way, they get paid when they're there. The way that they have it structured is if you're present, you get paid. If you're not present, you don't get paid. You win, you get paid. You don't win, I guess there's a little bit of a cap on your salary and whatnot. But the women chose to get paid the same whether they're able to pay or not, whether they win or not. And that's why they got the sum that they did. Now, if they had chose the men's structure of paying, they probably would have made more. And the percentages that they are actually being paid with respect to what revenue they bring in is higher than the men's as well. And it's just nice to see that the court system will kind of always be right to a certain degree. Actually, no, I don't believe it'll always be right, but it exposes the fact that this whole, oh, women, blah, 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 oh, women, blah, 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 is mostly a load of baloney. Because if you look at what's actually happening, they're not being discriminated against. In my honest opinion, I guess they just suck at negotiating. And I say, like the previous story, the woman who is doing her thing, like living her best life, has a business, running it, taking care of other people. Awesome. I don't knock her for that. I'm sure she has a family too, so she's probably the breadwinner for all I know. And hey, that works for her. But the fact that people are saying that women are paid less for the same amount of work is BS, and the fact that this lawsuit ended up kind of showing that is amazing. And I think more of this needs to happen to expose the fact that women really do not have it worse. In many cases, have it way better than men. And the last thing I want to talk about is Andrew Schulz, Flagrant 2. You guys probably noticed I like talking about them, and it's because I think they're funny and they talk about lots of relevant stuff. So I always suggest people go check them out. They're hilarious. If you don't like that, it takes a special type of person or somebody who's really not too stingy to enjoy his comedy, but he is hilarious. Anyways, he made a kind of post, so to speak. He got a video like 5-6 minutes, and essentially was talking about the Biden and the presidential election to a certain degree. And he took digs and how he let you say it's from the gut. So he essentially he put how he felt about it. He didn't try to put a political bent on it. He didn't try to go make the conservatives happy. He didn't try to make the liberals happy. He just spoke to it as he saw it and tried to look at it from an unbiased frame and just how he felt. And one of the episodes was essentially going through how he was able to transcend many lines from people like Charlemagne the God, who left black guy. I'm not a big fan of him, but Schulz is one of his buddies. And then middle of the line, Joe Rogan, which I honestly don't think is really middle of the line. He's probably more left middle of the line, kind of like Tim Pool. And then Donald Trump Jr. also posted it. And the fact that his comedy was so unbiased, just so pure, so from the gut, that it was able to transcend all these different political feelings and political grievances, and everybody essentially laugh at it and post at it, and it was really amazing. And I do think that this guy Andrew Schulz is going to be on the up and up. I think he's going to be the next big thing, because I like the fact that he's 100. I think he's wrong on certain aspects of what he thinks. I mean, he is left-leaning. He probably would identify more with the Democratic Party than me, because we have our different upbringings, I'm assuming. But the way he goes at things, the fact that he's not afraid to offend anyone. If he finds it funny, he's going to do it. He does not care how you feel about it. If he's trying to make humor, trying to make fun, trying to have a good time, if you don't like it, get out. But he's going to enjoy himself and make sure that the people around him who think like him, at least, or can enjoy and not take things too seriously, will enjoy it as well. And I think more people need to be like that. That's pretty much it for this week. There's not too many crazy things that have happened. I'm trying to think of any crazy plus some things to happen, but that's about it. people are rioting a little bit. People are protesting out there because a man got shot by a father and his son. I looked at the video. I'm not really going to make any judgments on that because I don't want people accusing me of this or accusing me of that. But I got some news today that they're being charged with murder. So we'll see how things go from there. It's just kind of crazy that you see out there right now that they're protesting, but you don't really see the same people that are roasting other people who are protesting and trying to get the government open. They're not trying to shoot down these people who are protesting a black man being shot by 2 white men. So a little bit of bias going on there. But yeah, this is week 1 of May. It's just been this. I think things are starting to open back up, and hopefully we end up being much stronger. More jobs come back to the U.S. People start going back to work, and that we get our good footing. And honestly, anybody who says another president can do a better job of what's about to happen, I doubt it. But that's my 2 cents for May 1st, 2020. I thank you all for listening, tuning in. I appreciate that. Please look at the links in the description for certain avenues that would help support the channel. I got a book out there called Why I, Young Black Man, Voted for Trump. Right now, I don't have any other revenue streams, and I do want this channel to eventually grow to a point where we can reach more people and I can have more conversations and have people on so I can talk and have more fun conversing with others. But leave a like, share, subscribe, check the links in the description, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Stay blessed, stay safe.